بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today I have another reaction video. In this reaction video, I'm going to be reacting to how a hardcore Zionist Jew found Islam against all odds. I think that's what it is. So, brothers and sisters, let's get to this video and watch the story of a brother, and let's get to the video and see the complete details of it. Let's get to it.
Ismael Abu Ibrahim was a professional musician and a hardcore Zionist who converted to Islam.
And when I saw the consistency, the rationality, the justice, and the nature of Islam, I knew that this was something so robust and strong that I wanted it. You know, I wanted to base my life upon this, my brotherhood with people. I wanted it to be based upon Islam.
Ismael Sharpe, of Polish Jewish descent, currently in the UK, in the current times where we're exposed to the word Zionist more frequently, Ismael Sharpe admits to him having been a hardcore supporter due to his Ashkenazi background and how European Jews' support for the cause is deeply rooted in the historical context.
I'm also from an Ashkenazi Jewish family on my mother's side. So I was raised somewhat with this Jewish, European Jewish identity, with sympathizing with Zionism. Let's say a pro-Zionist upbringing with regards to my Jewish side.
He was a musician, a drummer, and had partnered with singers like Adele and had toured London and the UK. So how did a person with such a background turn to Islam? Ismael Sharpe is honest with his pre-Muslim life of being paranoid by the mere sight of Muslims on the tube in London, which even compelled him to change carriages. Ismael Sharpe explored the profound connections between Islam and Judaism as the rich tapestry of shared values and historical ties and similar divine stories, and explains how he perceived the common threads that weave through these two Abrahamic faiths. From shared narratives to ethical principles, Sharpe was only left without answers to who the Creator is. As a young boy, his question to his mom about where the Milky Way ends, and her response, "I don't know, and I don't think about it, I'm afraid," left a bigger void in his mind. With this background in mind, what do you think he sought next? Sharpe befriended an atheist and began looking through his lens, but that didn't give him the satisfaction he wanted. Turning to Christianity, buying a copy of the Old Testament, and aspiring to fulfill his growing needs of answers to the multitude of questions in his head. The Old Testament didn't give him the answers either. So now what? At a particularly low period, having lost interest in music and feeling depressed, he decided to read the Quran, which he had got from his friend 2 years prior. And upon reading the first surah and then moving on to the second, he admits a feeling of finally finding what he had been seeking for so long.
All of it hit me. It was different. I've never read something like this before from a religious scripture. Definitely didn't see this in the Old Testament when I was reading that anything is direct. Those who believe in the unseen, I was already became aware of the fact that there must be something beyond all of this.
He felt the power of the divine words, which he couldn't feel upon reading any other religious scriptures. And most importantly, he felt like the words were addressing him. But the doubts about the misinformation spread by Islamophobes and the misguided, polluted versions of Islam some groups propagated still left Ismael Sharpe in doubt. Confused with what he had read in the Quran and the previous misconceptions troubling his mind, he randomly met a Sudanese man in the street and walked up to him and got talking about Islam. The Sudanese man, with kind manners that Islam promotes, invited Sharpe to his home, and the kind wife cooked him a meal while they waited for his son, who could converse in fluent English, to return to talk and clear the narratives of the misconceptions in Sharpe's mind. These acts of kindness by unknown random people impacted Sharpe drastically, and he thought of what the Quran promotes: kindness and goodness to all, something that the Islamophobic media and governments have tarnished. You know how positively some interactions can leave us feeling. That had overtaken and Sharpe, and he walked into a masjid one day, met two Somali brothers,
Somalians,
and told them he wanted to take the Shahada. They welcomed him in and ran over the details of the Shahada and its conditions, and he immediately took his Shahada then and there. And just like that, he says he felt free. He felt relieved. He felt as if a huge mountain had been moved off his chest. And that's the impact Islam has on a person. It gives freedom and relief and happiness that no other religion does. Ismael Sharpe has said he's been accused of leaving his Jewish faith, but he rightly points out that his reversion to Islam is him coming back to his true religion.
True.
The religion of his ancestors, and the religion where he truly has to belong to.
Right. Yeah, brothers and sisters, the video is a little bit short, but very enjoyable, and it's a good story in it. And Ismael, the new brother who is Jewish in UK, in London, reverted to Islam after he came around a Sudanese Muslim man, and they welcome him to their house. Only Muslim family can welcome you to their own house and accept you for what you are. That's how good Muslims are. You cannot find anywhere else. Can I just walk out now with random guy who I don't know, who is non-Muslim, and text me to his house, invite me, everything, gives me food? That's impossible. That's only possible in Muslim family. They don't have to know you who you are. That's how kind they are. And one thing I want to mention is the Somalians, my people. Because those are Somalians are my people, and they're good at religion. They are the only community who are memorized Quran cover to cover, and you will find in every family 2 or 3 or maybe 4 of them memorize Quran cover to cover. Yeah, in every family that you check, they are good at memorizing the Quran, and mashallah, may Allah protect them. Okay, beside that, the video was informational, and it was a very good story, Brother Ismael, how he interact with Somalians, Sudanese, and other Muslim brothers, and they explain the only religion accepted by Allah, and he decided to accept Islam, and now he's Muslim, and he's practicing, he's keep going. It's like a new door with the lights that are opened for him, and all his sins previous, whatever it is, was forgiven, clean sheet. So yeah, brothers and sisters, I have to end this video right here, and I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.